I'm Chris Erdmann, and this is Made of More, the show where we go beyond business to uncover real stories that shape entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, we explore the pivotal moments, the adversity faced, the risks taken, and the resilience found along the way. This isn't just about what people have built, it's about who they've become. If you're ready for inspiration, practical insights, and stories that remind you that you too are made of more, you're in the right place. So today my guest is a special friend, Armi Avila, who happens to be part of one of my business groups, and she owns a blinds and window coverings company called Amazing Blinds by Armi, and she services the greater Seattle area and also the east side, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I happen not just be a friend, but also a client of hers now, and I just have to say the experience on both ends of business and friend has been really phenomenal this far. So I'm bringing Armi here to say hello.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, hello.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. Yeah, thank you. So, one of the reasons why I wanted you on this show is because you do have such a dynamic, interesting story. And I'm interested in kind of like your early startings. Can you tell me a little bit about where you're born, where you're from?
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in the Philippines, the eldest of three. We have a huge age difference. My brother is 6 years younger, and our sister is 17 years apart. I would say my childhood, I lived a somewhat sheltered life. We had nannies growing up who were like family, who pretty much took care of everything. And I studied in an exclusive all-girls school. And so that was me growing up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You already know this, but I'm half Filipino. My mom's from the Philippines. I got family scattered throughout all the islands. And so when I go back and visit Cebu, Philippines, and then also, I haven't spent too much time in Manila, but those are a couple of the places where my family's from. So what city are you guys from?
I am in part of Manila, more like, I don't know the geographics, but it's in Rizal.
Okay.
So not too far from Manila, but with traffic, that's about 2 hours.
2 hours, so maybe like one block then?
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the bigger cities that I've actually been. I want to spend a little bit more time there. It's like I don't know how many millions of people are there, but it's.
I have no clue either.
Yeah. So you're going to have to do some research there. And so then you said you grew up pretty sheltered. That sounds familiar for some of the things that I've heard about my family out there. What did that look like?
But yeah, so everything was done for you. I have so many anecdotes that looking back what seems so unusual now. Like even when I was in college, my parents had me take a nanny with me to work. And I would leave the nanny in the lunchroom and come pick her up after work. A lot of things like that. Like I always had somebody with me when I was going to and fro places.
Yeah, and sometimes these nannies, maybe they weren't even family, but they become family.
They were treated like families. They live with us.
Yeah.
And it's generational.
Yeah, it's like, and oftentimes people from your neighborhood are stepping in as family members. Was that the same thing for you guys?
Somewhat like that from my dad's province. And yeah. So.
Yeah, very different world. You'd only really get it if you went and visited.
Correct.
Yeah.
But when I was 4, my family from the U.S. petitioned us. And that petition took a long time, like 20 years, that my family forgot about it until they got a letter from the U.S. saying, hey, if you don't act on this, you're going to lose the opportunity. And during that time, my parents had a printing business, and they made a decision to sell the business to give my siblings, my brother and sister, a better future, so to speak.
Sure.
Because it took so long, I ended up not being able to join them.
Yeah. So those of us that are not too familiar, what does that mean to have a family in the U.S. when you're overseas?
Yes. So my mom's family has been living in the U.S. For a long time, and you could apply for petition then to move here.
Is that like a green card or some sort of residency or some sort of visa?
It's a green card.
Okay.
Or a green card.
Yeah, wait, how long ago was that?
Oh, well, that was 20, 30, 40 years ago maybe.
Oh, wow. Time flies, right?
Time flies.
Yeah.
But I remember, no, it can't be 40. But I remember being, very young when that happened. And so they left for the U.S. and I was left in the Philippines for a little bit still with nannies.
Sure.
And then I decided to move to Canada, migrate to Canada through my degree in landscape architecture.
Okay.
Contrary to the 20-year wait in the U.S., it only took me 6 months. And so before long, I was living in Canada.
All right. So growing up, did you and your family already knew that you wanted to come to the U.S. at some time, or North America, it sounds like?
Yeah, well, it wasn't really a plan, but because we had family members in the U.S.,
Sure.
it was an option.
Yeah. And then so I want to get into your schooling a little. Sounds like you went to private school, which was just pretty common for what I understand.
It's not just a private school. It's like an exclusive all-girls school that was founded by French nuns.
Oh, wow.
Like everything we did, it was structured, how you sat. I mean, I could...
So not strict at all.
Not strict at all.
Yeah. So looking back at going to this all-girl private school ran by nuns, what skills do you feel like you walked away with looking back now?
Skills I walked away from there is...
Or lessons?
Lessons from that school. It's how to interact with people, how to talk to people with grace.
And also a good leader, though, too, as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have any examples on or memories on that?
No, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all right. Yeah. And then you went to university there and you chose to do landscape architecture.
Correct.
Yeah. How'd you choose that?
It just happened. It's what brought me to Canada. I practiced in Canada. I practiced in the Philippines as well.
So is it kind of a passion?
No, it was a profession, but not a passion for sure.
Okay. Because you're currently working on a landscape project, are you?
Yes, that's my backyard. Yep.
How's it going?
It's a lot of work. It's still going.
It's still going?
Yes.
We'll have to talk about that later.
Yes.
Well, tell me a little bit about moving to Canada and what that was like.
Yes. So, shock is an understatement.
Okay.
Moving from a country where everything was done for, so to speak, with parents that equipped you, I'm all of a sudden living on my own, learning basic things like cooking rice, doing laundry.
Sure.
So it was a shock. It made me grow up overnight.
Yeah.
And so it made me become independent, self-resilient. And I eventually had fun in Canada, but the initial transition was challenging.
Pretty big shock. You get on a plane and you were being taken care of, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're in Canada and you're all these basic things.
Yes, and with 12 feet of snow as well.
Yeah.
When I arrived.
Yeah, which you've probably never seen before.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I could only imagine, I moved out at 17 years old and it was quite a shock for myself to be like, oh my gosh, now that I'm in my own place that I need to start cooking for myself, doing all these things. But luckily for me, my parents were only a few blocks away that I could just drive to. So and I could always ask for help. And I had that community nearby, but how did you start growing your community?
So I ended up joining gyms and like just meeting them. Well, I don't want to say this, Chris.
Yeah.
I had a nightlife.
Yeah. Yeah, going out and, restaurants and hanging out with friends at nighttime, right?
Yep, absolutely. And they're still our friends until now. We're still all friends.
Okay.
Yep.
Was there a bit much of a community that, or was it just kind of everybody?
Everybody.
Because I know Canada has a
huge community, but I was also working 2 or 3 jobs when I was in Canada.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Not because I needed the money, but because I had a goal and I could only achieve it supplementing my primary job.
Do you mind sharing the goal?
Yes, to buy a house. I ended up buying 2 homes.
While you're in Canada?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So that private school really taught you how to forge your leadership and cultivate some goals.
It's more like my parents.
Okay.
My parents, I grew up with a business mindset and working hard. And it's my parents really who instilled that in me.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about your parents and how they did. Were they business owners?
They were business owners. They had a printing business. I'm a fourth generation business owner. My grandparents owned, now that I was rewriting my bio, I realized I had a connection to my grandma who owned a fabric and curtain store. And so that was my environment growing up, is
The fabric and curtain store.
and being in business.
Oh, wow. And then did you help? So what did you do with the fabric and curtain store? Anything, or were you just kind of exposed to it?
I was just exposed to it, but I remember being more involved in the printing business for my I was selling business cards to my fifth grade classmates.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So what did the fifth graders want with business cards? Was it more for fun?
It's more for fun.
Yeah.
We were making invitations, wedding invitations
Really?
in fifth grade. I mean, it's all for fun.
Yeah, quite the entrepreneur. You just and you did it the right way, starting for fun, and
Yes.
your parents were just leading by example.
Absolutely.
So you have two other siblings. Are they business owners or
Nope.
no?
I'm the only one who has taken the path so far.
Okay, it's really interesting how that works out sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're in Canada. You buy two homes, and then what happens next?
Yes. So my parents are like, "What are you doing there?
Okay.
You moved to Canada to be closer to us." And so that same degree that brought me to Canada also allowed me to move to the Pacific Northwest on my own. And so I practiced landscaping here for a little bit.
You practice landscaping, and then
It became apparent that it was time to put that chapter aside. Landscaping, while it brought me to places, it gave me training. I was not passionate about it.
okay. For those of us that are curious and listening, I could share my story of something like that too. But like, you studied for this and you were doing it, and then
I was doing it well. No
Okay.
one would know that I didn't like it. If I come home, I'm like, do not talk to me about landscaping. Like, I didn't want anything to do with it. And so I've always also been raised to know, or my dad would always say, business, it's the best thing in the world.
Sure.
And so I had that mindset. And so I was doing something I didn't like. I landed in landscape architecture, even though I didn't want it, just to finish a degree. I mean, in the Philippines, you
Yeah.
you have to finish something.
was there anything that was happening, or besides just that you didn't feel fulfilled, but was there something that's occurring even though you were good at it that just made you decide this is not it?
I've always liked design, but my brain is not structured for engineering,
Okay.
and part of landscaping is engineering. And it wasn't something I really wanted to.
That's really good to know about yourself, and actually have the power within to be like, I'm good at this. I'm doing it. I could probably do this for the rest of my life and do well, but I'm just not 100%. I could be happier.
Absolutely. Life is too short to be doing something you don't love.
Yeah, when I was in my early 20s, I went to school to be an officer, and then completed the program and realized like, wow, this isn't for me, and that was a tough thing for me to do. And then I became a project manager for this big construction company, and I was doing really well for them. They were doing structural steel. I was estimating, coordinating, got along really well with everybody at the place, but I just wasn't happy. Even though I was doing it really well, I felt like there was more. And a big catalyst for wanting more was that I was being a young father. I wanted to be a better dad. And not that I wasn't a good or great dad, but it was like I couldn't show up as often as I wanted to because I was subject to follow somebody else's schedule. I'm working 9 to 5 or something more than that. That was a huge problem, but it was sometimes I couldn't go to some of her plays and things like that. And that was one of the biggest catalysts. That was like, there's something more here in life, and it wasn't just about the business. And so that's how I ended up leaping from being a project manager of construction to finally jumping into real estate one day. So
That's awesome.
I can completely understand. Yeah. So you jumped ship from there. What was the next? Did you know what you wanted to do?
No, when I knew it was time to start my own, I thought about like what interests me. So I like designing. My parents gave me the liberty to project manage, remodel, and I was instructing the contractor to knock down walls back when HGTV was not a thing, an open concept, and it wasn't
You're
shown
the
in the
OG HGTV.
Yes. And so, but I didn't want to go back to school. So I decided to focus on window coverings. And that's how I started my first window coverings business almost 17 years ago.
17.
And the degree that brought me to places, I didn't practice it, but I'm applying the principles I learned from there by trying to understand the needs of the clients, not just making things pretty, but its form and function. And so that's how I ended up applying what I learned in my business.
So you started the business.
I did. I started.
Very brave. Didn't even shadow anybody really.
I was trained a little bit by a seasoned business owner in California. And then after that, I was on my own.
All right, we're going to take a break here. You've been listening to the show Made of More. I'm your host, Chris Erdmann, and I'm sitting here with my guest, Armi Avila of Amazing Blinds by Armi. As a reminder, this is 11:50 a.m. KKNW. We'll be back after a few seconds.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Hello, I'm Chris Erdmann. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, I sit down with inspiring entrepreneurs, creative minds, and game changers to uncover the real stories behind their business. On my show, Made of More, we explore the challenges that they've overcome, the breakthroughs that they've celebrated, and the mindset that drives them forward. If you're ready to unlock your full entrepreneurial potential, Made of More is the show for you, because here we know you are made of more. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW.
Are you ready to discover remarkable stories of resilience and cultural connection? This is Diaspora, a show sharing the journeys of first-generation immigrants from the Indian subcontinent now building their lives in North America. Inspiring, insightful, and always engaging, Diaspora offers a unique perspective on the immigrant experience. Join me, Aditya Mehta, my guests, on the Diaspora Show every Wednesday at 2 p.m. right here on KKNW.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Bringing good vibes to the Puget Sound and the world. Alternative Talk 1150.
All right, Armi, so we're back. And, so you started this blinds company and you just had some training. You didn't shadow anybody and you were implementing some of your basic skills that you've learned with architectural landscaping.
Correct.
Do you want to get into that a little bit more?
It's a lot of people in my industry are just order takers. Like, what do you want? This is what you get. And even if I hear that, I would say, well, let's analyze. What are your needs? What's your lifestyle? And that's how I make recommendations. It's not what I want. It's what will fit their lifestyle based on their goals and the style of their home.
Yeah, I could speak to that because you came to this house that we're building right now, and there's a lot of windows there, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. But like I was telling you, you don't need to cover them all.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that because I thought most people that were selling blinds would be like, oh, you need blinds for every single window, but because of the placement of like it's facing a fork, and you suggested in the room where I thought it would cost the most, it actually cost the least.
Exactly. So it really just all depends as well. So
Yeah, I mean, you do have a really great ear. And then you've also saved me a bit of headache and money because you're pointing out what the electrical contractor could be doing ahead of time and placing electricity in certain spots. And you were very precise in your direction. And I would say that the lead contractor was really excited about that. Nobody actually had a different opinion than you. And I was really surprised because a couple of the contractors I work with have a lot of opinions and how things should be done different.
yeah, for sure. And you're in the best position. The studs are open and it's the best time to wire it for automation.
Yeah, I got to say, if you're building a house out or thinking about a remodel, I would get your blinds person. And if you're in the greater Seattle area, I hope it's Armi.
Hey, thanks for the plug.
Yeah, of course. Well, speaking from experience here, I want to go back to Canada a little bit.
Yes.
I didn't even ask, where at in Canada were you?
I was in Edmonton. I love Canada. I love Edmonton. And I told you I had 2 to 3 jobs. You should hear about this, Chris. So
Tell me.
I was shopping at this fruit shop and I saw a sign, ask us about getting a 10% discount. And so I asked. They're like, be an employee. So that was my second job.
You asked about a 10% discount. They hired you. They offered you a job right there.
Yes, I was a cashier at a fruit shop. And at one point, I was a call center agent for Pizza Hut and taking pizza orders. And at that time, I wasn't eating pizza. And I was top seller? Because I was selling them. I feel bad for them. Like,
Yeah.
Cineparts Pizza. And our
You
boss.
feel bad for the buyer, the client, or the
Both.
Oh, really?
I mean, I knew I was toughening up with a lot of sugar.
Oh, yeah.
And our supervisor was asking, where was Armi? And someone said, sleeping on the job, because I was taking calls lying down because that was my second job. I was really exhausted.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Wow. So you go to the produce stand, then you end up at the pizza shop later on?
At one point, I had both of them, and I'm like, I can't do this. So I just kept one of them, I think the pizza call center job.
So you're at the pizza place, laying down, but
Answering calls.
but also being one of the lead salespeople?
Yes. Because you're like upselling.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're just like, oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Why do you think you were so successful at selling pizzas?
It's just how you present it, right? But that principle, to me, it's like just offering you think would work well with their order, really.
You probably did a lot of listening.
Yes.
Like
lying down.
Lying down. Like, okay,
so exhausted.
What's your favorite food?
Exactly.
What are your favorite flavors?
So exhausted. So when I moved here, I'm like, I am, I think, done working for others. And it was time to be on my own.
And
start a business.
That was after the pizza place.
No, I worked here a little bit in landscaping.
Okay.
And in Redmond.
That's
I was
right.
a landscape designer for a little bit in Redmond.
And then
that was my last landscaping job.
Wow, what a big day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was happy to leave.
So what were some of your early lessons in your new business with blinds?
Yes, so I just moved to the city and I was also starting a business from scratch. So
Which city? Redmond?
I was in Seattle.
Okay, in Seattle.
And
now.
so I was getting to know the city and also starting a business. I have a bad sense of direction, so until now it hasn't made a difference, but it was worse when I was new to the city.
Thank God for
GPS.
GPS, yeah. And
yes, back then there was no GPS.
Were you kind of downtown in the mix of the city? Or
no, I was in North Seattle.
Okay.
But I would still drive all over.
Sure.
And that was still what I was doing in landscape. I would go to people's homes. So the same thing with window coverings, just always driving.
So as a new business owner, how did you find houses to drive to?
You just have to get it done. You're marketing in different ways. You're networking. Back then I was doing postcards just
Before the internet.
before the internet. Anything to get the calls going. So my first call, I still remember my first job in Issaquah. I'm like, wow, this is real. And it went on from there.
Really? So did you land that first job?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you rolled
Fake
up.
it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I like is also just do it till you become it.
Yes. Oh, that's even better. That's better sounding.
Well,
Thank you, Chris. And you've probably been doing the same when you first became a realtor.
yeah, similarly, even though the internet was here when I became a real, it wasn't the same. They didn't have Redfin. They didn't have Zillow. A lot of the people that were doing real estate for years were still talking about this catalog that they were utilizing. So they were still used to flipping through pages and on the screen. And that's where I started real estate in 2006. And it was the same, like nobody was giving me leads. So it came from people asked, how did I do it? Well, I started just talking to people at the grocery store. If whatever I'm doing, I'm talking to somebody. If you made eye contact with me, we were going to have a conversation.
away.
Yeah. And I wasn't going to solicit my business, but if they asked me what I did, then I would obviously tell them what I did. So as a young guy, I just had a lot of conversations everywhere.
I was starting right around the same time too. 07 was
Okay.
when I started my first business.
Okay. Very similar times.
Time
And,
frame, yeah.
yeah. And the other thing was sending mailers. That really worked really well back then. Still does today.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And the other thing that really worked with me is I had a lot of friends, because this was in the Bellingham area. I had a lot of friends in construction or the trades. So I'd always bring coffees or pizzas by and just drop them off during lunchtime or the morning, and then smoothies after work, and
Nice.
and just network with everybody. And every now and again, somebody would be like, hey, you got to work with Chris. And so usually I'd walk away from every job site with one or two new buyers or sellers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, okay, enough about me, but more about you. So the business started rolling, coming to you after that Issaquah. What did the next few years look like?
It became very successful. I was working long hours because, again, that's the only way I know was to work hard.
Yeah. Yeah, hard work and consistency. From what I know about you and watching and listening to you in our business group, you're always doing something. It seems like you're always marketing. If you're not out there, you're driving. You're on the way to an appointment all the
There's
time.
always something to do. It never ends, Chris.
Yeah, never. I was out at a restaurant the other night and I ran into you, and you were still working. You were at a big
Yes.
networking event.
Yes.
Or you were talking with other friends and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But so, any other big lessons that?
It's just hard work, and I've been very thankful for Seattle. I was new back then. I want to say they embraced me with open arms and allowed the business to flourish.
Yeah. Well, you have a really great attitude and persona about you, so I'm not surprised that people welcome you with open arms. Very, very trustworthy person. And then you're a mom too, correct?
That is correct. Just recently, a mom to a 5-year-old.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And so this first business, you did it for years, and then you ended up parting ways with a...
I walked away from it. So it did very well till in 2022, 2023, there was a significant personal life change, which it made me realize that it was best to walk away.
Sure.
And
From something you built and that was successful.
yes, and in order for me to have a fresh start and just have a reset, it felt like the best for everyone.
Yeah. For your mental health and
Absolutely. For everything overall.
for the future. So I would say that's, I could relate to having to walk away from something I started. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs out there, if they haven't done it yet, they'll find a place and time where maybe that first or second business that we start, it could be something grand, but yet it's not everything. And we may have to walk away from, could be the marketplace, could be the relationships inside the business, it could be a change in belief about how business is run. There was one business that I had, and it was very successful. And at some point in time, I had to face myself and be like, am I happy or could I be happier? And the answer was, I could be happy. And meaning, if I was happier, that I'd probably have a lot more energy, and I'd probably be a lot more effective in the relationship that I wanted to embark on. And I got to say, walking away from business could be like very personal, heartbreaking, and even have an impact on who we believe we are at sometimes. But I got to say, like, for those of you that are out there that are in something that might be kind of slowly killing you, even though you're successful, really seek some counsel, because maybe walking away from it, starting all over again, it's like having your hand in that cookie jar. You just don't want to let go of that cookie, but you can't take your hand out.
Yeah.
But letting it go, there was a whole lot more cookies on the other side.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So you walked away from this. This is where Amazing Blinds by Armi started.
That is correct. So Amazing Blinds by Armi is a result of that turning point. Walking away was difficult, but it gave everyone a gracious and start, as well as
A reset.
And allowing someone else to take a lead and build something of their own.
And allowed you to do the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. More importantly, you're here right here with me right now.
Yes.
And it's about Amazing Blinds by Armi and Armi.
Yes.
And so you got this new restart. And going into, tell me about like your first, your beginnings here, your first months. Like, what did it feel like having your own company?
For sure. So I didn't have the luxury of time to wait for things to unfold.
Bills are happening.
Yes, bills are happening. I have a wonderful 5-year-old to raise.
Yeah.
So
Motivation.
so you're just doing what it takes. But I had the mindset of, I was able to start a successful business. That was in 2007, knowing nothing, knowing nobody. And so it gave me the confidence that I can do it again, knowing what I know now, the connections I have. And so I just tried to get it done.
Try to get it done. So, but you had to come up with new marketing.
Yes, and this new business is very different than the previous business. This business carries my name on with it.
Sure.
And there's a story to this, Chris.
Yeah, would love to hear it.
So, yeah, I just realized people remember my name and what I do and how I made them feel. And growing up, I really didn't like, my name was very frustrating. I would waste 1 to 3 minutes of my time every time trying to spell it, trying to correct the spelling, finally agreeing, sure, that's my name. And that frustration became a name, or a solid foundation for my new business, and a name I stand behind. And so this new business represents who I am, and as a person, as a designer, as well as represents the values that I care about the most, like honesty, creativity, and just elevating the experience for clients.
Yeah, I believe that you do carry those values. That's what I experienced being your customer as well.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and having your name on there, it sounds, I see you light up, you know, I see you light up. You have this huge, when you say that your name is on this, and I would guess that it gives you just more sense of pride and ownership of this business.
Yes, it's sense of identity. It's not unusual for my clients to call me and say, hey, I'm just so glad I found you. And if the name of the business on the internet, they're like, there's no way that's not the Armi that did my blinds. So I'm just grateful that I'm still able to do what I do, because at one point, if I sold the previous business with a non-compete, it was over. And so I'm really just grateful to be able to still do what I love to do and still be the blind lady.
The blind lady.
Yes, that's what some people call me.
Well, I'll start calling that you
Oh,
soon.
no, don't do that.
Okay, I will not. And then, so now you got your name on the business, and then you also had to hire installers.
Yes, that was easy. Like, as soon as people found out, I had a list of installers that now I work with, and who I know and trust.
So you built those relations. That's really amazing.
Yep.
We're about to go to another break again. I'm Chris Erdmann, your host on Made of More, sitting here with Armi Avila of Amazing Blinds by Armi. Tune back in to 11:50 a.m. KKNW.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Are you ready to discover remarkable stories of resilience and cultural connection? This is Diaspora, a show sharing the journeys of first-generation immigrants from the Indian subcontinent now building their lives in North America. Inspiring, insightful, and always engaging, Diaspora offers a unique perspective on the immigrant experience. Join me, Aditya Mehta, my guests, on the Diaspora Show every Wednesday at 2 p.m. right here on KKNW.
Hello, I'm Chris Erdmann. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, I sit down with inspiring entrepreneurs, creative minds, and game changers to uncover the real stories behind their business. On my show, Made of More, we explore the challenges that they've overcome, the breakthroughs that they've celebrated, and the mindset that drives them forward. If you're ready to unlock your full entrepreneurial potential, Made of More is the show for you, because here we know you are made of more. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/1150KKNW.
All right, welcome back to the show Made of More. I'm your host, Chris Erdmann. I'm sitting here with Armi Avila of Amazing Blinds by Armi, and you are still listening to 1150 AM KKNW. So, Armi, all of our conversation's been really great. And so we're going into this third segment here, and something that I really want to know is, how do you define success now versus how you did previously?
Yes, good question, Chris. So success before was building something out of nothing and getting that going to a point where the business is self-sufficient. Success now, while I'm still starting from zero, it meant rising when things don't go as planned and following what's in your heart and still doing what you love to do with the people that you respect and just being present for your clients, your family, and for myself.
Sounds more relational, more spiritual now.
Yes, it's not all about material things, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Those material things are not necessarily bad either early on.
Exactly.
I could say for me early on, success, even though it was measured by how much time I could spend with my daughter and whatnot, it was also measured by what I could accomplish, like making something out of nothing. And I would say that was really, really good back then. I would say that type of drive kind of started fading away. Did it fade away for you too? Or is it just a big shift?
It's not just that, because with having a child now and your priorities shift a little bit. And COVID, while it was tragic, so to speak, it changes your perspective that life is not all about working all the time.
Yeah.
that you need a work-life balance. And so that's what I'm trying to achieve now.
Have more of a balance. So on the other side of work, what does that balance look like?
You saw me the other day.
Yeah. Just you're out
just
creating
out and
relationships.
having fun.
Yeah.
And creating relationships.
Yeah, and then probably spending a lot of time with your son too.
Exactly.
Right? Fostering probably the most important relationship right now.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So, what's different now on how you approach life?
Yes. So this time around, I've opened up more. I am a very private person, but now that it's like there's freedom and I'm interacting with a lot of like-minded people more, and I'm grateful to be part of a community. And I'm in a very unique spot in that I was an established business owner.
Sure.
And I am now a new business owner at the same time. So I am able to look at both sides, and just the gratitude for the people who have helped me along the way. I feel a sense of giving back as well to whenever I can. And this time I've also, with my clients, get to know my clients in a personal level. And I am grateful for every call, every opportunity, and every business that has come my way. This whole experience has just made me very grateful.
Yeah, I could sense that you're having that gratitude. And it sounds like you're slowing down, not slowing down the business, but slowing down to kind of think about who's been helping and that gratitude. How do you express that gratitude, whether it's for yourself or for them?
It's just letting them know, and also being there for other people in the way that they were there for me.
Sure. I think at some point in time in our life, like if we're going a million miles an hour, we eventually slow down a little bit, pop our head up, and hopefully most of us are being like, wow, there's been a lot of amazing people along this journey. And how do we maybe potentially reconnect with some of them and just give them a call or a card, or maybe dive deeper with some of them and maybe helping them with their business or life somehow?
Yeah. In the same way that even the new business owners are able to help me as well. So
right.
It's
one of those ways might be just giving somebody's name out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I could resonate with that. At this point in my life, being in my mid-40s, I used to just be all about performance and, trying to get to the next deal, even though I really appreciated everybody along the way. I was, moving really fast to be a top producer. And then now, these days, I notice, even though I still like to sell a lot and produce a lot, I do slow down a little bit and think, how did this person help me? Or how can I help this person a bit more and show my gratitude? And sometimes it shows up in small ways of just the gift that I give them at the end, and try to get them something that really speaks to them or might be impactful for them. And sometimes it takes a little while to understand that. One of my favorite gifts is giving flowers to my clients, if they do like flowers. And I think I have a correlation of that between, like, my dad really enjoyed harvesting flowers as we grew up, and so that might be part of the connection. But I noticed that a lot of people really, I don't know if a lot of people are getting flowers these days, so they act very surprised. And I usually do that as sometimes the first gift, and when they move in or buy something, then it gives me a little bit of time, now that I know this person a bit more, to shop for maybe their another gift that might be more meaningful. Somebody that I closed on a building with, they were really into judo.
Oh, wow.
And so I ended up ordering a belt from Japan and put their name on the judo club. They haven't gotten it yet, so hopefully they're not listening first and they get surprised by this gift. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Sounds good.
Yeah. What other way do you feel like this gratefulness?
It's just going above and beyond what they expect and just doing your job very well.
Doing the job.
Yeah.
That's underrated, isn't it?
Exactly. Doing the job and making a difference in their life. Believe it or not, it's weird to say, but when the coverings changes lives, it's not unusual for me to hear from clients saying I've done their blinds 10, 12 years ago, and they're still grateful for the guidance. And what they don't know is I am even more grateful that I was part of their home and that they allowed me to help them. Yeah.
Well, I just have to say, like, the fact that you take your job so seriously, that's, I don't feel it's as common as it used to be 20 years ago, as it was 20 years ago. Wouldn't you say?
I don't know, Chris.
Yeah. I feel
maybe
I could measure these great experiences when I just show up to a restaurant these days and they have great service. I'm like measuring them up. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I'll be telling everybody that they should go there.
It's all AI now, so maybe.
Oh, AI is getting pretty good though.
Yeah.
You know, that want to really serve people.
That's what we're here for. Right?
Yeah, that is what we're here for.
Do our job.
Yeah. You know, as far as support in your life, what does that look like? How do you make sure that you're getting supported?
Yes. So going through everything, that's what made a huge difference for me is the great support system from family. My parents are great. And from friends, like they're just a phone call away, you know, that makes a difference. Definitely.
Yeah. So you're spending quite a bit of time with your family or calling them. And
yep.
A lot of people stay in business, kind of stay closed in and don't express the hardships that they're going through. Do you find yourself that you keep things in or do you share with your support group?
I do share to a certain degree, but honestly, Chris, I am having fun with rebuilding and getting a fresh start. And so the little frustration here and there in the whole scheme of things.
Very little.
It's very little.
I love to hear that.
Yes, it's amazing to wake up every day and you're just like thankful. You're driving around and you're like, hey, I mean, life is good.
Life's good.
Yeah.
Because you could measure both sides of the spectrum. That period in your careers where you did have hardships and your period right now that you're not feeling that. You're flying, sounds like above the clouds. And that sounds really good.
It's just being thankful because it could be worse, right?
Sure.
And so I'm just grateful for every opportunity and for people who've helped me along the way, from the vice president of a manufacturer, Hunter Douglas. I met him a couple months ago, and in person, I told him, you probably won't remember this, but you just helped me when I was starting out, because I knew who was helping me fast track my business. And I just expressing my gratitude.
Oh, that's great. Even going as somebody that you said the
vice president of Hunter Douglas. Yeah.
He probably doesn't hear that enough.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think that's really big of you to recognize just that thanking and recognizing that sometimes we think the leaders around us are so strong. They may be, but in reality, they're just people that need support or need to hear something good. Yeah. What other practices would you recommend to anybody like listening that looking on both sides of the spectrum of like having a hardship and in business and then where you're at flying in gratitude? Like what are some practices that somebody could do?
Oh, it's not like a practice, but sort of an encouragement.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to let go or pursue your passion. Some of the best chapters in my life were those that I took a leap of faith. And sometimes you just have to let go to grow. And whatever they're feeling right now is just a chapter. It's not the end of the story. And if you don't try, you won't know.
That's right. Yeah, that leap of faith. Thank you for sharing that. Well, let's talk about blinds.
Yes.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you're recommending these days?
We've been doing a lot of automation. It's back in the day when you recommend automation. It's like, are you lazy? Now.
You mean automation as far as like
blinds?
Electric blinds?
Yes. Now it's almost a must, and it allows you to put them on schedules. It's a security issue when no one's home. You can schedule it so that someone's home.
Yeah. I've never even thought about that. Blinds for security.
Yep.
So when you're off away on vacation.
It's programmed.
It's programmed, or on your phone probably.
Or on the phone. I can operate my shades right now if I wanted to.
Okay, and it keeps people from looking in, and
Yep, absolutely.
you probably turn your lights on from your phone as well.
Yes, I'm not that techie, but that is possible.
Yeah. What else is for people? I've learned so much when you were over and talking about all the different blinds. What are some important things to think about when you are shopping for blinds?
Well, there's different kinds, and there's no one solution for every home. It's really analyzing what your needs are and coming up with solutions for it. I would have clients saying, this is my wish list. I don't know if it exists. And you just find a way, if the manufacturer doesn't have that default solution, to find a way that would work for them.
Can you give me examples?
Yes, so it might be hard to understand, but top down, bottom up.
Yeah, the blinds that go up and down from the bottom and up and down from the top.
And then somebody who wanted room darkening and top down, bottom up, and light filtering at the same time, and automation. And so I had to create multiple systems to get that.
Okay, yeah. So for me, there's a lot of sunlight coming in through the bedroom, and I want to make sure it's easy access for me to get in and out through the doors, but also that I could sleep in till 12 o'clock if I wanted to. Yeah, not that I do that, but.
Yeah.
And then what about as far as, do you work with the interior designers, or are you that person when it comes to the blinds?
So when I'm working with an interior designer, I am their resource.
Sure.
And they take the lead in the design. But my clients can have confidence in me too if they're not working with a designer, that I have a design background and able to navigate at least the window treatment design aspect.
Okay. That's really interesting. Yeah. Luckily for my house, I have a mutual person that's a designer for the house. Now that we're going to pick colors out and whatnot, you'll come in and talk to them. Is that what's going to happen?
Possibly, yeah.
Or will you
Different
or will you just come in at the end and look at
what they have,
what we've done?
Yeah, that might be a good one.
That might be the best. All right. Is there any special plug-in that you want to say about your business before we go?
No, it's just when they need blinds, I'm hoping they would know who to call. Amazing Blinds by Armi.
Yeah, you're the one. Very humble, but so gracious. I want to say thank you for taking your time out of your day today. I know you're busy, and coming on the show and telling everybody about your life and what you do.
No, thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me, and I'm so happy to hear about your life too.
Yeah, really.
In the process.
So how would you like people to contact you or find you?
Yes, so Amazing Blinds by Armi. My website is blindsbyarmi, ARMI.com. And I have social media accounts at Amazing Blinds with an S by Armi, ARMI. And hope to hear from you.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Well, again, thanks for being on the show, Made of More. I'm Chris Erdmann, your host, sitting here with Armi Avila of Amazing Blind, and you're listening to 1150 AM KKNW.
Thank you, Chris.
And the show Made of More will be back on the air next week. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Made of More on KKNW. Whether you're on the road, at the office, or listening from home, keep chasing what lights you up, keep building what matters, and never settle for less than the life you were made for. You are made of more. More purpose, more impact, more joy. Made of More is part of the Speaking Current network of shows and podcasts, all of which that are dedicated to inspiring listeners to build lives of meaning, connection, and value. You can find the Speaking Current network of shows, including Made of More, wherever you get your podcast. You can also find us on YouTube. Until next Wednesday at 8 a.m. on KKNW, I'm Chris Erdmann. Stay bold, stay inspired, and stay made of more.